Hello, today I want to draw on the topic of expectations. I don't know about you, but whenever I feel in myself some kind of dissatisfaction, unhappiness, or discontentment, I can usually follow it back on my expectations. Having expectations means to have a clear picture in mind how someone or something is supposed to be. And this creates a disbalance between reality and my picture of how it should be, my expectations of it. So today I want to remove expectations by drawing in three areas. Expectations towards myself, expectations towards someone else, and expectations towards the world in general. So to me, this is an interesting topic. I hope it's also interesting for you. I invite you to draw with me. Let's explore what happens when we dissolve our expectations. Because whenever something is dissolved, there will be space for something new. I am curious to explore that with you today. Let's start drawing. Today I use a very big sheet because for me that's an important topic. You can choose any size of paper that fits your need on that topic. As usual, we write down words in 2 minutes before drawing to activate our topic. So our topic today is the topic expectations. Start writing down your associations now. Yes, have uncomfort, disbalance, not being in charge, not being able to act, opposition, no, exhaustion, being tired, no drive, disappointment, not being in charge, dissatisfaction, discontentment, sad, indisbalance, lack of energy, nothing makes sense, giving up, sad. So I'm intending to make some changes on these impressions now. First, I draw a huge triangle. My triangle represents expectations. And a triangle is an active shape which can lead us in a direction that we want, or it can also harm us with its pokey edges. It can be destructive. And today I want to use its energy for becoming active, but now for expressing as well this destructive energy of expectations. And then, maybe with a little bit thinner pen, I draw a shape for the world should be different. Like there's lots of things going on in the world that could be different. And my expectation that the world should be different, I put some shape here. The world should be different. Looks like that for me today. And then I draw a shape for I should be different. So, I should be different. And then people around me should be different. They could be more kind, more understanding, more wise, more sustainable, whatever. People around me should be different. So, as you can see, for me, 3 interesting, very disharmonious shapes. What are your shapes looking like? For these, having expectations, the shape of a circle has to appear. It's not yet there because expectations is something disharmonious, something which is bringing us in a state of uncomfort. So I bet your shapes also look a little bit disharmonious at this moment. So I want to work with the shape of having expectations towards myself first. And what I do is I draw neurolines on its outlines, and I'm harmonizing the edges. I work on making my expectations towards myself a little bit less pokey in the first step. So, and I connect it to my triangle. Wherever our lines meet, we connect them. And I feel into what these expectations about myself are. Expectations of having reached somewhere where we haven't reached yet. About we should be doing something else We should be faster. We should be more beautiful. All these kind of ideas are expectations towards ourselves. Should be more smart, more kind. I always think about myself, I should be more kind, more forgiving, more gentle towards other people's shortcomings as well as my own. There's lots of room for development still in myself. And having this expectation even creates more disharmony in myself and less ability to actually behave kind towards others. So first thing I want to do is become more kind to myself by letting go of expectations towards myself. Accepting my states as they are at the moment, whenever they are. Acting kind towards myself, and in this way accepting reality as it is as a basis for transformation. So this is still very active and pokey, but it is already a little bit more comfortable to look at for myself. I will do something with that in the next step, but now I want to leave it. And I'm going to do the same thing with expectations towards other people. Other people should be more smart, should be more kind, shouldn't be so superficial, shouldn't define themselves by material values. All these ideas come up while I'm working on integration here. What else? Expectations come up, so you can do that while you're drawing and check out which expectations come up towards other people while you're drawing and working on neurographing your shapes. Expectations towards other people. Other people should not be overreaching, should value my space, value my being, leave me alone. What else do I expect from other people? Maybe I also sometimes expect people to think and act the way I think and act. So all these expectations are very hard and tight way of thinking. Some people should be the way I want them to be. Not very tolerant. Any kind of expectation is the opposite of being tolerant and understanding of differences and different ways of living and different attitudes. And we are rounding the most pokey shapes at this step now. You see, I have lots of nice pokey shapes here still. Destructive shapes, and we are integrating the destructive thoughts into something new. The world should be different. So we also put neurolines on our lines that are already there. And we are working on the intersections. The world should be peaceful. There shouldn't be focus on fights and wars. World should behave more mature, supportive. The world should be a safe space, peaceful space for everyone, creative space to grow. The world should be fair and understanding. There shouldn't be any fights in the world. The world, actually, I'm thinking of people in general. I think when I'm thinking of the world, or whatever comes up, it's about people in general. The world should be fair and productive, focused on inner values, should stop identifying with being human only, living its potential, taking care of Earth and of human beings, being part of nature. The world should be more natural. All the plastic, all the chemicals, all what doesn't belong into our food and everywhere shouldn't be there. Could go on, I'm sure, with that. This is all what comes up connected to expectations. I realize for me the world and like people in general, it's people in general here for me, and this is people I know and people who I meet, and this is myself. And what I want to do now is I want to dissolve these shapes, all these expectations in the background. And I do that by drawing neurolines and connecting, creating new connections. The lines flow organically to the edge of the paper. Neurolines are lines that do not repeat themselves at any point, and they go where we do not expect to see them. We even lead them to where we do not expect to see them. Can go over our lines again and work on the connections. And on new edges that appear, we will round them. And we work slowly and carefully. Oh, feeling into the lines. How does that feel to start dissolving our expectations? To just dissolve them in the field today. They will stay, like the lines will stay, but they will form something new. A new impression. For me, that feels already quite comfortable. And I feel excitement in my chest. I feel my heart is kind of jumping around inside, being joyful, apparently getting rid of these expectations that are connected to this unhappy, dissatisfied being. Ready to let that go. My heart likes that. So, also work on this. Yeah. Here's something really pokey. I connect it to that and I go down. Meet it here. So there's no right solution. There's many different options how to dissolve your shapes. And just find the connections that are suitable for your drawing. Removing your expectations. Allowing them to dissolve. Making room, creating room for something new. We'll explore what that will be. Having expectations is closely linked to control as well, in my perception. Controlling that things are the way I expect them to be. And if I cannot control, then this is leading to that feeling of not being in charge. Of course, I cannot control the world as it is. And even people around me, I can only control in a limited extent, which is good, obviously. So dissolving my expectations seems to be a good thing I can do for my own peace, and at the same time for the peace of everybody else. around me. I will be more relaxed, more room for joy, for laughter, for creativity. If less energy or maybe no energy is needed anymore for control and fulfilling my expectations, trying to do that. I really enjoy removing these pokey shapes and connecting them. They already look very different, although the shapes are still there, but their effects, like here, for example, are feeling completely transformed already. It's important to connect to your own perceptions of the topic. Feel into what the lines tell you. These lines tell me I am not alone. It's okay the way it is. I'm not responsible for saving the world. Cannot do that. Just save the world around me. That's what I can do. Removing my expectations by drawing is one thing I can do to make the world a better place. I will be more content. People I meet will be more content. So this is something I can do and influence. Always. Work on my self-development. I am actually making the world a better place with every line, for example. Are you aware of that? Very important work you do by drawing. The world which you have influence on, and not this world which is in a chaotic situation and which will be transforming by all of us taking actions in our own lives. Taking responsibility for transforming imprints that don't serve us anymore is a huge step towards the world how we want it to be, to raising the world's consciousness, abilities to act kind and loving, and also distributing the world's pleasures more equally available for everyone, and so on. Lots to do, and this change of raising of consciousness and changing of awareness is happening with every one of us, with all the thoughts we are transforming, the destructive thoughts. So don't think that it's a selfish thing to work on your self-development. It is not. It is exactly what you can do. And accessing your own energies, getting out of your own depressions, of your own stuck situations because of all these destructive thoughts, will allow you to do whatever is your share as well. I see there's a lot of white space here, and I try to balance the amount of lines in my drawing. So I'm also adding more connections here in this white space, feeling where they want to be. Yeah, there's more room for lines in some parts, like here, for example. Room for new connections. Now I perceive some kind of fog in my brain at the left side. Our body is used to our impressions, and if we transform them, the body oftentimes has a hard time to adjust, and you can have some pressure, some headaches, any kind of symptoms which are connected to where in your body all these thoughts had been stored all the time. So don't worry about these symptoms, be kind to yourself, and you do whatever lets them releases them, walking, resting, breathing deeply, drinking water, tea, and practicing allowing these states to come up in the process of releasing, in this case, impressions of expectations. Expectations are very, very common. I am happy to hear what this drawing process do for you. I invite you to share in the comments or in my Facebook group, Draw Yourself Free. You can also share your drawings. I also share my drawings there as a diary. We have a common diary of our drawing processes. And while drawing, check your states, how you're feeling, how your body reacts, and what you're thinking about, or while you're drawing, which thoughts come up. They are closely related to your topic. Ah, yes, one more. Edge to be dissolved. Whenever you take more time than I do, please stop the video and finish off your process at this moment. It's always nice to take the time you need. This depends on our progress with this topic, on our perception of the topic, if it's difficult for us or if it's kind of very necessary to dissolve, then it's usually easy and fast. But if something is tense in yourself about that and not sure, then it is taking a lot of time sometimes. So what I see in my drawing now is that my expectations towards the world are not really visible anymore. Towards other people, a little bit. Towards myself, I see a lot of sparks still. So the expectations towards myself have been the most active, I guess. So today I decided to use my highlighters to work on dissolving these impressions even more. And now I pick a color which feels suitable. I picked purple. Start to combine segments to each other that have not been combined before, and I lead these shapes, these bigger shapes that appear to the edge of my paper. I'm coloring segments and uniting them to a new shape. I do that according to my intuition, like where and how long will my shape be. Like I feel this is going down here a little bit. Can work nicely with the highlighters. I want some more colors here, and make sure that you're also like using your segments for that. Creating basically a new shape now, which is at the same time act like creating a new impression, because new connections which haven't been there before appear. It's also connecting us to archetypal energies of the field more. And it helps us dissolve our expectations. make sure that you don't color only one by one the segments. In Neurographica, we always color at least 2 segments to each other. So, is that enough? No, it doesn't feel enough. I want more. I want it bigger from here, from up and above. Yeah, that feels enough purple up there for the moment. I want some light blue. But I start here. And I let it flow wherever it wants to flow. Now I realize when I'm coloring here that I see a lot of very straight lines here. And I draw some neurolines on top of them because I don't want these straight lines. Straight lines are repeating stereotypes like the already known. Our brain loves to repeat what it already knows, but this is not my request here. I want to create something unfamiliar yet. Dissolving my expectations is something new, so I make sure that my straight lines are not that straight anymore. And here, even in my triangle, I want to do that. And I can add some neuro lines here as well. It makes a very huge difference. It doesn't change the shape of the triangle, but it makes it more perceptible and accessing the energies I want from it. So if you find some very straight looking lines in your drawing, then you're welcome to also work a little more on neurographing whenever you realize whenever you spot those lines. See what I do? I draw lines around that straight lines. And it makes it more organic and visible to our system, to our neurosystem, to our minds. I want the triangle to be visible, but I want the lines to be less straight. In their nature. Yes. Now I continue with my project of light blue here. I make it big and also connected to the edge of my paper. There's something here, something here, and even this is part of it. How does that feel for you? Do you feel pleased or scared? Happy, excited, tired? Many different possibilities. How your body reacts on drawing. So I want some blue here as well. Going up here, and make sure that these traces of the hatching are not staying. It's just I'm quickly marking where I want to draw, and then I'm going over it again in a different direction to create like one area, like one, not like the single lines. We don't want to make those lines outstanding and visible. It's supposed to be a smooth impression of our color. Go over it again in different directions, and then that can be created. For me, this topic feels quite light today. I have worked a lot on tracking my expectations and dissolving them, like by making myself aware of them. I also write a lot, or I do write a lot whenever I feel stuck in some situations. So I did write a lot in the past. Nowadays I draw a lot, but creating this drawing on this important topic for many people, as I feel, I realize that I have done a lot of work already. Although they were still visible, I could name all of them, as you heard earlier in this video. I could still name expectations, and still about myself, yeah. So now I want to create a line here, a new line. So that happens in the drawing whenever we feel a connection should be added. We can add it right away. Growing my shape, is growing my purple shape. A lot of wisdom needed in my transformation, I feel. Purple for me is a color of wisdom. For you, it can stand for something completely different. So don't worry about my connections. You can feel into what the colors you use mean to yourself. Often they are talking to us and they want to be there, and we don't always need to know why exactly this color is somewhere. So I have some purple in this side of the drawing as well. And I'm intending to do something about these pokey things here. So there's no need to color all the drawing. You can leave white as a color as well, and also invite, by not choosing the color yourself, you can also invite the unknown by choosing to leave parts of your drawing white, which is actually highly recommended as well in Neurographica. About 20 to 30% of your drawings can be willingly left undefined. You don't have to know everything. So how are you feeling? What thoughts come up? What body reactions, and how do you like what you're doing? For me, I feel I have added enough color at this moment, and I want to make transformation visible now by creating one circle now, representing, incorporating the transformation. And I want to draw it around my triangle. So it is a little bit, yeah, like that. I like it like that. So I draw it until I am content with its size and with its outline. This is now what contains everything that comes into my life when I let go of these expectations. I want to focus on this now, on the new things. And I will work on connecting the circle to the environment now and see what comes up for me, whether I can grasp the new meanings. And I invite you to do the same. What comes up? And I have an impression already what mine stands for. Go once around and connect my circle to the initial triangle as well. And this triangle gives some drive now. For the new experiences. It's not that important anymore, but it's still there. It's okay that it's there. All our experiences and also our expectations have led us to where we are today. And at any point where we are ready to transform something in our life, we can do that. And still it had served us until today. And so it's also part of our experience and valuable. No need to judge ourselves for having had expectations. I feel my circle stands for inner peace and for trust. Trust in the knowledge, in the perceptions of everything has its place. Everything that shows in the world, everything that shows in ourselves and also in our people around us has its right to be there and its meaning. Trust in that. This is what my circle is about. And I will emphasize on that again. Now I would really like to know, I really want to know what your circle is about. What do you discover in yourself after having dissolved 3 aspects of expectations today? Was it easy to do that? Do you face resistance? How do you like your drawing? I also integrate this part of the circle which I chose to widen, so I make it part of this drawing by working on the connections. So there's nothing that can go wrong in your drawing. You can make the necessary adjustments whenever you feel something needs to be adjusted. Trust in universal love and wisdom. Yeah. It feels wide in my chest to look at this circle now. I invite universal love and wisdom into my drawing by drawing field lines that run from one side of the drawing to the other side. They can go from this direction, they can go from down to up, they can go wherever you need to see them. And I actually decide to do one from up to here. That's what I often don't do. My field lines usually go like that, but today I want to do something new. Grab a bigger marker and follow lines that are there, or also create new lines whenever the lines are not enough. Here, for example, I want it to go down there. I make it visible by these field lines that are also neurolines, not repeating themselves, flowing organically. We invite divine love and wisdom to our topic. So for me, one is not enough today. I want one more. Leading it here. And it is coming out down there. Yeah, that feels good. And I will have a third one from here. So, 3 lines. Feel enough now, and now I work on integration, and also I want to create some new lines away from, like leading away from that. On all the lines I create, I will also connect beautifully. Like sometimes it's nice to have some medium thick lines that lead away from these field lines to other parts of our drawing and create new connections once again. Like that's what I felt like. I want some lines here which are not the same thickness as the field lines, but also thicker than the other lines. Don't feel like talking so much today, so maybe that's more supportive for your own drawing processes as well. All the talking can be quite destructive. No, how to say destructive? So it feels really one more time it feels wide in my chest. Also these field lines give me hope, confidence. Everything is fine the way it is. It's okay. How I am, how my people around me are, and even the state of the world. trust and confidence in the right action can be taken and is taken by starting here and now in what I can do here and now. More confidence and more trust in everybody participating or having the opportunity to participate in this development towards light in the world, peace and contentment. You can be the light in your environment, inspire others, by trusting in your own abilities, in your own guidance you receive and perceive, and bringing into the world what needs to be in the world through you. So now I'm using a medium thick marker to integrate the lines, the thick lines and the thinner lines. And I work on letting them flow organically into my drawing. So you can make sure that your field lines are like the same thickness at all points where they flow. You can check. Sometimes they need a little bit of readjustment. We don't want them to be like stuck in some points because they are thinner. Create a nice flow. So this is here, going down here, can be a little bit more connected. Feel like I want to talk to you who are drawing, so maybe need to find a way to do that soon, to draw together. So my trust, I want to emphasize my trust now, and I grab a marker and add some more color inside it here. I add a layer of blue intensify my impression of my trust. Again, I try to make this hatching go go away in a second step here. Trust. I want to focus my attention on the trust here now. I'm sure it won't be the same for all of you. Maybe there will be something else being contained in that shape. Maybe happiness, joy, satisfaction, love, contentment. Many options. So I want to give it a new impression, and I add some light green now. And I do that according to what I fear. I fear now there needs to be some light green here, and I add it. Wherever I feel it is needed. You can also use your pencils for that step. Whatever you have, whatever you like to work with. Just remember that the hatching is not giving us this integrated impression, so we want to work on a smooth connection of our color. So this is not working properly anymore. This has some power in it. Nice. Go over that again as well. So, and here, not round enough. Yeah, feels good already. Good, good, good. And I want to use some pencils as well now. And add a little bit green for shading here. I want to work on making this trust vessel as beautiful as I can at this point. If you apply shading around these shapes, which is a little bit more visible at the edges here, and then it fades out into the middle, you can have nice 3D effects. You're welcome to try that if you like, but you don't have to. For that, the pencils work very nicely. I start feeling contentment and excitement by creating this beautiful vessel for my trust. And I'm also excited about my life from today onwards with more expectations having been dissolved today. Might be more layers down to that topic, but I'm sure a lot of it has been released here in quite a short time, not even 1.5 hours yet. I'm surprised by this green color showing up. It's exactly the right thing here at the moment for me. The more you draw, the more you'll find ways to beautify your drawings more and more. It's nice to do that, and it's also working without a lot of it if you don't really feel comfortable with that yet. So don't worry, your drawings work. And one thing I want to do now, I want to also go around my circle and make it even more visible from outside, and I apply some red here. And I will also need to work on the integration with the the flow of the lines, so we don't make it just straight. Let it fade out along the lines that are here, and you will have a beautiful effect, shining and a glowing effect around your, now I see even the whole earth in my, it looks even like the earth for me. Connection to earth's wisdom, maybe. Mother Earth. Didn't intend to draw Mother Earth, but it looks like that at this moment for me. Shining in universe beautifully. can play with the amount of pressure you apply with your pencils, and then by that you can create this fading out impressions, if you like to create them, or if you even want to have some emphasis around that. It's also according to your taste. I like it at this moment to be there. This step can take a long time according to your desires, whatever you like to do. You can take your time. You don't have to be finished at the same time as I am, because it's actually your drawing and your process. So the more you busy yourself with your drawings, the more you apply different layers and colors and work on it, the more impressions you create for your brain. So don't hurry with your drawings. Be patient with the process and with yourself, and with time it takes. I like to apply a lot of pressure at the, like, close to the circle. Make it really glowing, the color. I let it flow a little bit into my purple here as well. To connect it a little bit more, I mix my red color with the purple of the environment here. And I want to do that here as well. And here as well, colors can fade out when I feel that I have enough. Not enough yet. But a lot of hatching to be seen here, which is not what I want. So I have a few more adjustments I want to do before I want to write down my words. A little bit of fading of colors in the blue section here. Here. The colors remind me of drawings which I have done maybe a year ago. I haven't used this combination of colors for a long time, I realize. And I fear that it's just the right combination of colors for this request. And what I realize here is that I have created one single cell here, which I won't leave like that. Can add a line in it. It's not alone anymore. Now it has two parts united by the white color. So that's what you can do if you find lonely segments. You can add a line or add color of the neighboring segment. You add some more rounding here. Yeah, I feel I can work on that drawing a lot more, but maybe I'll leave it for now and we'll check on the words soon. Yes. All right. This is my drawing. It doesn't even fit on the screen here. I can create some more. Yes. I might do something about that later, but now I want to write down words in 2 minutes after drawing together with you. And check what it has done so far. Topic 2.0. Let's start writing now. Yes, I think my new topic is sharing my light. I have relief, do not have to control, letting go, trust. Everything is right the way it is, moving on, care for my responsibilities, relax, focus on my inside qualities. My power is inside. Focus, light, joy, expansion, radiance, my light, and share my light. Yes, that happened with me in my drawing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for drawing as well and taking this opportunity to work on your self-development. I consider this being very brave to do that. Facing your own states, undesirable states, and taking the responsibility to do something about them and set your energies free, to draw yourself free. So let's continue drawing together. Drop a comment. Thank you for subscribing as well, and see you soon. Bye bye.